Hello children, Krishna ma'am back again with chapter 4 of Hornbill, and the name of this chapter is Landscape of the Soul, as we learned in the last video. Okay, in the last video we learned about the differences between Asian and Chinese painting, Asian and Western painting, and we heard 3 short stories, anecdotes related to Asian and Western painting, or to be exact, Chinese and Western painting. Now what will we learn in this video? That is the second part of the chapter, in which we are going to learn about the concept of Chanchoi and the concept of outsider art. The children, what is this Chanchoi? Let's turn to the third page. Okay, page number 3. Now what is this Chanchoi? This is a Chinese word, and if we break it, okay, Shan means mountain and Shui is water. Now what is this mountain water? The mountain water is Yang and Yin in Chinese. Okay, we have the same concept in every language. In India also we have the same concept of Yang and Yin. Now I will tell you about it later. Now let's come to Yang and Yin. This is the masculine aspect of word, that is Yang. This is stable, warm and dry, going vertical towards heaven. Heaven here means sky. Mountain goes upward towards sky. Now what is Yin? Yin is the feminine aspect of the universe, and this is fluid, cool and moist. As you can see, this is totally contrast to Yang, totally contrast to the masculine aspect, and this is horizontal, resting on the earth, while Yang, it goes towards heaven, Yin, it is lying on the earth. So these are 2 contemporary poles of the earth, totally opposite to each other. And that is the basic of the universe. In India, according to Hindu culture, this is known as you must have heard, Brahma and Maya. The Brahma and Maya is the same concept of this Yang and Yin. If you go to Western side also, you must have heard of Adam and Eve. So this is the same thing. So basically this is a masculine and feminine aspect which makes the universe, and they are 2 contemporary poles. Now between these 2 poles there is a third element also. Third element which is very marginal and almost overlooked, which is known as middle void. It is so minute that most of the time it is overlooked, but this is a very essential part, and that is known as spirituality, or in Chinese word this is known as Chanchoi, or landscape of the soul. If we come to our India, it will be easier for you to understand this thing. As today is a yoga day also, it will be more easy for you to relate it also. All of you must be knowing, you are very much aware of the pranayama. Now how do you do this? Inhale and then exhale. But when you inhale your breath, that is inhaling. Okay, pranayama does not occur. When does it occur? When you hold your breath for say 1 second, 2 seconds, 1 minute, depends, okay, but holding that breath just for a small period, that small period is known as middle void, and that is where the meditation occurs, that is where we get the spirituality. So in the concept of Chanchoi, or Yang and Yin, or you can say Brahma and Maya, the middle void is the spiritual one. That is where the spirituality occurs. And in the Chinese painting, in the Chinese landscape, I had that painting with me because one of my very best classmate when I was studying, okay, she was a Chinese reporter in a Chinese newspaper, and she was very good painter. I had few paintings with me. I thought of showing it to you, but somehow I couldn't find it. But once you go into the painting, you will see all the abstract colors and some white space left there, and that white space is known as the middle void, which is left for the imagination of the weaver, okay, where we can use our own imagination, we can put our mind to that, and we can travel in that space, which is spirituality. Now let's come to the last para. This is also where a man finds a fundamental role, and he becomes conduit of the communication between the both poles of the universe. So here the narrator, she says that a man, a human being, to be exact, human being plays a main role, plays a very vital role in these two poles. Okay, in these two poles, his role is very vital. And without a human being, these two poles, that is the yang and yin, this is not possible. Okay, so his role is very vital in that, and that is known as the eye of the landscape, because in the landscape, as in a human body, okay, we have the role of the eye. Without the eyes, we cannot see anything. Okay, things, even though we have all the parts, but without eyes, we cannot see anything. Fine. So in the same way, human being act as the eye of the landscape. He has the same role in the landscape of the life, of the world, of the universe, as eyes are in our body. So that is about the chapter, that is about the excerpt from the book Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese Painting. Okay, this was the first part. Now let's come to the second part, which is totally different. Totally different in the way that it is not related to Asian art or Western art, or it is not related to any fine art, any form of art, but this is related to raw art. Children, what is raw art? These days, if you go to YouTube, everything is full of raw art. You make with scrap materials, anything you can lay your hands on. You can make a piece of art out of that, and that is raw art. So when was it initiated? It was initiated way back, or it was introduced, it was found way back in 1940 by a French painter, Jean Dubuffet. Okay, he found the concept, he introduced this concept to the world, and this concept was known as art brut or art brut. Now, art brut, or we can call it self-taught art, or any art in a naive form, okay, or you can call it art of you and me, means anybody can make it if we have a heart for the art, if we have an eye for the art, we can create this. Okay, so we call it art brut also, or outsider art. Outsider art means anything which does not fall in the category or in the concept of art. You don't have to get a training, or people who create this kind of art, who make art brut, who make outsider art, who make raw art. Okay, it's not by many names. Anybody can make this art if they have a love for the art. and you don't have to need a brush, a color, or maybe a panel, a paper. That's not needed. That's needed in the classical form of art, the art which is in real sense art. But in this art, anything you can pick, okay, can be a piece of paper, can be a piece of cloth, can be ice cream sticks, or can be anything. You just see a beauty in it, you can create a piece of art. And okay, so years ago, many years ago, an artist named Nek Chand from in his young days, he belonged to a place which now falls in Pakistan. But later, when the partition was made, his family moved back to Chandigarh. So in Chandigarh, he was into a government job in road construction. He was an officer there, but he had a love for the art. So what did he used to do? Whatever he used to find, broken bangles, he started with that. Broken bangles, pieces of stones, pieces of shells, can be anything. He used to make small piece of art from that, and he carried it. So he means openly he could not do that because he was a government employee. So what did he do? He went away somewhere in his free time. He went to a far place, okay, a jungle type thing. He cleared the space, okay, that was a vacant space in jungle. He cleared it, he cleaned it, and he made it his kingdom. Okay, made it his kingdom. And what did he do there? He created many pieces of art. And in 1980, there was a first time it was inaugurated officially. That time, it's a long story how it was discovered by people and how it was. Okay, it was almost banned by his officer, but one of the officers, he saw it and he was so impressed. He was so impressed that he opposed the ban on that. He says, no, let him continue. And the grand inauguration was in 1980. Okay. And he got many awards after that. A postage stamp was made also. Sorry children, it was inaugurated in 1976. And in 1980 he got an award. And after that the award got in continuation because more and more public came to know about that collection he made, and it was beautiful because he put all his dreams, his imagination into that. And what was the name given to that? The name given to his realm was a rock garden. Rock garden was in Chandigarh. And in this book, if you saw these sculptures, what is this made of? This is made of broken bangles. If you see the color pictures of this one, this is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. And way back in and after that he got recognized by United Nations also, the UNESCO body of the United Nations. They supported his work, and they agreed that they will carry an exhibition for 5 months known as Realm of Nek Chand, and it would be shown in Switzerland, Belgium, France and Italy, all these parts of the Europe. All this part of the Europe. And later the American and European authorities, they promoted him. They sponsored him to carry it further, to extend his work. And later they added more land to that, which was almost 40 acres of land. And there's more than 2,000 statues in the rock garden now. Okay. And this article, the one which we are reading in this book, this is an article written by Rinda Suri, which was published in Hindustan Times on 28th August 2005. Okay, when he was very popular to the world that time. And that time he was 80 years old. But next month he died in 2015. But his work, the rock garden, it is still there in Chandigarh. And if you go to Chandigarh, if you go to have a look at that, you will be impressed. You will be impressed to see how the scrap, all the garbage things, the scrap things, can be anything, can be everything which you can lay your hand, can be a piece of art if you have heart for the art. So once you see that, you will be impressed, because all of you have heart for that also. Because I have seen many children making beautiful piece of art from, say, waste newspaper, waste ice cream sticks, or broken wires. Can be anything. They make beautiful pieces. So that is raw art, made from raw material, where you don't need to have the training in art, where you don't need to be an artist to make that art. So children, that was all. Okay, that was all about this chapter. And once you read, I suggest you to have a read. If you read it, I'm very, very sure you will enjoy it. And things will be easy for you. And if you read this chapter, just visualize your piece of art you love. Okay. Can be in any form. And just try to connect it. Things will be easy for you. Because anything we read, if we connect it to something we see around us, or we do, we see, we feel, that will be easy for us to understand. So, why I'm asking you? Because this is children, English is not a subject. According to me, English is not a subject. This is a language which gives hand, which aids in understanding all other subjects. All other subjects you have to study. English, you only have to understand. So each and every chapter, there's a story which connects you to some reality. Connect yourself with that. Flow with it. And once you understand it, it will help you, the language will help you in understanding other subjects. And English will be, if you take it as a subject, then it will give you marks. And it will become your friend. Why it will become your friend? Because it will be scoring for you. It will add a beautiful marks in your total. So let this subject, let this language be your friend, and let it assist in your other subjects. So this is all for today. Have a very good time. Tomorrow I'll come with another chapter with a beautiful poem. Till then, have a good time.